What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Harwood Rundown podcast. We got episode 8 of the off season. We're doing our season previews for each team. We got the Southwest Division. A couple of interesting teams. A couple of teams that have had big off-season signings and big drafts. So yeah, we got the Spurs, Mavs, Rockets, Pelicans, and Grizzlies. And if you haven't been here for our season the previews, we've been doing our criteria of MVP, impact player, rising star, and projected record for each team. So yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Jump to the Spurs. Interesting off season for them with the signing of Wembanyama. Yeah, do you want to kick us off? Who do you think might change for MVP? But I feel like it's nah.
Honestly, I got Victor. Oh, hey everybody, Jack. In case you don't know me, big fan of the channel. Yeah, overall just like cool guy. Yeah, I got Victor as my MVP, but I was kind of tossing up between him and Keldon, Keldon Johnson. I've got Victor there. Actually, I'm going to switch. I'm going to go Keldon, but probably halfway through the season, I might switch to Victor. This just depends on how he adapts to the speed of the game. I feel like his season depends on whether he adjusts to the speed or not. The physicality is there because he's a lot. You normally hear that EuroLeague's more physical than the NBA, so he's probably got that physicality side down pat. Yeah, he's just probably the speed of the game is probably where his biggest adjustment will be. But yeah, I've gone Victor there.
Yeah, I got Eldon Johnson, although it might change, but I think he's going to stay as the MVP for this season. I think he's established himself and like a much improved like season last year. So I reckon they'll keep him as the priority. I would have liked for them to actually Trey Jones. Trey Jones is not bad, but I would have liked for them to get a bit more of a dominant like playmaker for this all to work. But then again, it's like Spurs actually really looking like exciting. Like I got Jeremy Sochan as my impact player just because he's got that kind of impact aura about him and he's got that Dennis Rodman thing going for him. But yeah, he's all over the court, and once he develops a bit of a jump shot, bit of an offensive game, like he'll be really solid. Who do you have impact player?
I've gone Keldon, but that's going to intertwine. So I feel like Victor's now my impact. Spurs finally have an elite rim protector, a dude that can kind of just do it all on both ends of the floor. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like everyone knows about him, so I can't really Victor's my impact player. Rising star, I've gone a bit of an interesting one. I feel like this guy's going to have a big year, especially kind of since Victor's going to get a lot of attention. I've gone Zach Collins at the 4.
Oh, wow.
Rising star for this year. He's been in the league for like 6 years, but I really feel like this can be the year where he's kind of has a starting role. He gets, the thing with him is he gets injured a lot. So if he can have like a healthy season, I really feel like he could have a, positive impact. I don't know. There's a few rising stars on that team that you can choose from. I'm just trying to think minutes wise.
Yeah.
Probably him. I feel like he would actually start over Jeremy Sochan because he can at least stretch the floor.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, even off the bench, he could still put up numbers. I just want him to have a solid year. Doesn't have to be like big box score season, but just be there.
Yeah, he can. He can definitely come on halfway through the first, jump into the 4 spot, and then when Victor goes off, he jumps into the 5, and then they have a stretch line up with Chetty Osman and Reggie Bullock. They got Dermot still as well. Like they got some really solid shooters and just role players. They got campaign on the bench. Like they are actually looking really, really solid. I reckon they'll be like a kind of like how OKC were last year, bit of like a dog team, but like a young gun type of thing, and they'll push teams. They won't have a huge like rise in the record. I'm thinking at the most like 27.
I've gone around that mark.
Yeah,
I've gone 30. I feel like 30 is their absolute peak. I feel like I reckon they'll have a really rough start, and then once everyone gets used to each other, they'll have a good finish. But yeah, I'm not expecting huge things out of San Antonio. Obviously, huge attraction in Victor, but just because he's a huge attraction, literally doesn't mean that that calculates into wins. So
Yeah,
yeah,
not yet, but I'm excited to actually watch the Spurs. I'll chuck on a couple of games, I reckon.
yeah, me too.
See how they go.
All right, let's go Rockets. Rockets had an interesting off season.
Mm,
I kind of keep thinking they've got the money to spend. You may as well spend it. Like you may as well overpay a little bit to compete with other teams. Um, I don't even know if Dylan Brooks had any offers. I don't know if Fred VanVleet had any offers, but they overpaid. People are going to say Dylan Brooks got overpaid. Dylan Brooks got overpaid. One, the market we're currently in, players earn of that caliber earn that much money a year. Two, Rockets have the money. Three, bit of an overpay considering how his season ended. But I
mm.
mean, if you got the money, you may as well spend it. I don't think there was kind of anyone else kind of interesting that would have that same impact as him. Um, so yeah, who's your MVP? This is interesting because I've put down two players because I'm kind of thinking like youth, but I'm also thinking like wins.
Yeah. I went with Fred VanVleet. I think he's already established and he's much more of a overall player. But then again, he's pretty one dimensional. I'll still go with him for my MVP, but like Jalen Green, I was
Mm,
actually thinking Sengun for my MVP as well, but
yeah.
he's my impact player because I think he is the one to build around if they can,
Mm,
you know, get guys around him that can work with a bit more of a passing, a bit more of a dynamic big. But yeah, I've got Van Vliet. Who you got?
yeah, I've got Van Vliet and Jalen Green. I don't know. I couldn't choose between the two. Jalen Green could average like 25 a game, and Fred Van Vliet could average like 25. Like I don't know.
Mm,
Impact player, I've gone Dylan Brooks only because veteran presence. You got that dog in him, and I feel like Houston kind of needs someone like that for these young guys to be able to grow and
mm,
kind of build the mentality at the same time. Um, don't worry, Sengun is here. He's my rising star. This dude is
mm.
going to have a most improved season. I really think he will.
Yeah.
Um, starting five role, the league's only getting better, and he's got no choice but to keep improving. So he's my rising star.
Yeah. So yeah, same for me. I think they do have like a lot of like they're the youngest or second youngest team in the league. Um, and then getting like Jeff Green, they actually added Dylan Brooks as well, yeah,
Mm.
which is very interesting. And then getting Fred Van Vliet, like they got Jock Landale as well. They've got some veterans, but they've got it mixed it with the youth. And I think having Jeff Green is like such a good signing. Hopefully to just be a mentor, play his role out there and show that you don't have to like be doing too much. Like you can just play a really
Mm.
solid role.
Yeah,
Because yeah, give him a couple of years, get him to actually gel together. Like it kind of reminds me a bit of Phoenix a bit when they Devin Booker like really grinded it out for a couple of years and like had that performance in the bubble. And then they got Chris Paul. Um, and then those role players, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges,
yeah,
really came into the spotlight. Um, and they had Jay Crowder as well. Like I think it's kind of similar because I'd like someone to come in and be that real leader, kind of like how Chris Paul was to come in and run the offense how it needed to go.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, we'll see. I think they're set for definitely an improvement year. Like if they don't improve
yeah, definitely.
with this roster, like I feel like I wouldn't start looking at trades, but it's like you need to be able to work with like you've changed your team. The front office have done a good job
Yeah,
of getting some veterans and surrounding their youth with some good leaders, and they've got an actual star in Fred VanVleet. Um,
yeah.
so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they go. I've got 20. 25 wins. I think they'll
Oh,
improve, but
okay.
I don't
This is
think that much.
massively different. It's massively different to what I got. Oh my god.
What do you
I'm
got?
th- I'm I'm factoring in Ime Udoka, a few years under the belt of these young guys. Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Sengun having most improved. Fringe fringe playing team, but the wins that I put down probably puts them as like a 9 seed. I've gone 38. I actually feel like they can I really feel like they can win more games this year and
Okay.
like actually be competitive. I feel like they've got the tools. People forget who they got, one of the Thompson twins. I don't even know the name. Like Amen or Asar, one of them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I really feel like they're gonna have a much improved year. And I don't think it's that surprising to suggest that they're gonna be a playing team. They've got all the tools to be a playing team. Seriously. You got that playoff pedigree, championship DNA, through Van Vliet and Jeff Green. Um,
Mm.
and you got young guys. The young guys are only going to get better. Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in this team, which might be. I'm not sure if it's warranted or not, but I really do have confidence. It's kind of like the Timberwolves, kind of ready to make that next step.
Yeah.
Uh, who's next? Let's go. Let's go Pelicans. This one is interesting because I've banked my entire predictions off Zion
Literally.
being back,
Yeah.
but like also not being back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've gone Brandon Ingram as my MVP. I feel like a standout player. He's going to have a big season if he can stay healthy. I was going to think Zion, but I'm also like, Zion hasn't been there. Zion can't come in and just be the best player. Well, he actually can. He can come in and be the best player on the team, but I just don't know if he's going to be healthy or whatever.
Mm. Yeah, I got Ingram MVP. I think I was actually gonna think like CJ not for MVP, but like just for what an MVP like actually means. But like Brandon Ingram's done like a great job since being there, and he's shown the commitment of staying there. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
put him as my MVP and improved passing, like defense as well. He's been really great. Like everyone when he came in was like he's a similar to KD, and like I think we're slowly seeing more of that. But he's really becoming his own player with his. He's even added some weight and got that ability to bully some guys, especially in the post. So like he's got really the whole package.
yeah,
I got Zion for my impact player, and that's just basically what he brings. Especially guys are going to be he's going to be double teamed most of the time, and so
yeah,
that opens up so much for the rest of the floor. Um, but yeah, who do you have?
yeah. I got Zion as well. I feel like
Yeah,
I had CJ originally,
yeah,
um, just for scoring prowess. But I mean, like if Zion comes back, he's going to be averaging like 27 and 10 or 9. So it's
yeah.
like CJ's numbers will probably go down. Impact goes up for Zion.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually feel like there's not much else you can kind of choose from. Rising star Trey Murphy. Man's going
Yeah.
to have a big ass season, and I'm very excited. He's actually one of my favorite players in the league. I was thinking him or Herb Jones, but I just feel like Trey Murphy off the bench, probably going to get more minutes, more scoring opportunities. It's his opportunity to kind of lead that second unit. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited for him.
Yeah, I got Trey Murphy too. Um, I was thinking Herb Jones because I like Herb Jones. He's got that dog. Uh, but yeah, I think Trey Murphy's he's improved more than I thought he would, and he's established himself much better than I thought he would. Like you wonder who's going to come in to be that like fourth string
Yeah,
scorer or fourth or fifth, and he's come in and done that. Um, and he's shown ability on both sides of the court, and especially in clutch situations, he's been like really crucial for him this past
yeah,
year. And
mm,
he's only going to elevate with a Zion being back and Brandon Ingram being healthy and CJ running the offense. Who's actually like he's had to switch from. I mean, he's a point guard, but he has switched from like a shooting guard role in the Blazers and really like done a great job of leading the offense. His pacing, CJ, is like he does know when to go, and he knows when to give Ingram the ball or when to like take it himself. He's very he's smarter than what people give him credit for.
yeah.
Um, But yeah, and I got 46 if Zion is even
Oh
like
my god, what?
I got 46, 48 if Zion's healthy, 40 if he's not.
Okay, we just had. I'm not taking into account, but we just had the exact same predictions. I actually don't think that's happened. I don't think
Let's
that's
go.
ever happened. Yeah, I got 40. I got 46 and under. With or without Zion. I've just gone like flat.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's playing or not. Yeah, wow. Fuck, that's never happened before. That's so good.
History on the Harvard Rundown podcast.
History. Let's go Grizzlies because I kind of want to get to the Mavericks later. John Morant out for 25 games.
Mm,
Lost Dylan Brooks. Um, gives opportunities for other people to step up. It's gonna be quite an interesting season. I really don't know how they're gonna go. Could they regress? Could they progress? Could they stay the same until Jar gets back?
mm,
Jaren Jackson Jr., my MVP, reigning defensive player of the year, more offensive opportunity now that Jar's not there.
mm,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, I just feel like once Jar comes back, probably Jar, but I'm just factoring in the 25 games that he's out.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I put him as my MVP, but yeah, then again, he won't be back. I think Desmond Bain he's
mm,
one of my favorite players in the league, man. I love
y-
everything he does. Defensively, offensively, he's shown just every time he's just shown improvement every time. And even in the playoffs, he's shown up. I think I'll put him as my MVP for, until I guess Jar comes back.
yeah,
Um, I love getting Marcus Smart. That was like insane,
yeah,
adding to that culture and what he's going to bring. He's going to be, I guess the most important like core piece. I think before Jar comes back, and you got D Rose off the bench as well, like Luke Kennard.
mm,
I
yeah.
think David Roddy should start. Um,
Oh, David Roddy.
I think he's really, really solid. And then Zaire Williams is going to get more minutes. Like, man, this is not a this will be
Not
an
a bad
interesting.
team.
It's actually a good opportunity, like you said, to see what other guys can bring to the table before Jar comes back with a whole different guard lineup. Marcus Smart, and Derrick Rose. Um, it's looking like very interesting to see like how that's going to work. But I think, man, if they're able to just stay in like the top eight or just out of the top eight, and then Jar comes back, I think they'll explode from then on because they've got like that core piece, and guys have been able to become like comfortable in the offense without him being there. But yeah, and I got impact player Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
just for everything he brings. I'd love for him to take an offensive like step up. I don't know if he's that type of guy. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like he's on the same level as like an Evan Mobley that won't score a lot, but his impact on the court is on both sides.
Yeah,
Um, I've got Marcus Smart as my impact player.
yeah,
That dude is just gonna come in, fill the role of Jar not being there, but then also just bring some. I know he hasn't won a championship, but just kind of bring that championship veteran presence. He
mm,
knows what it's like to win. I don't think he's missed the playoffs in his entire career.
mm,
Um, yeah, he knows what it's all about. I feel like they need someone like that to kind of fix the attitude. They really missed Steven Adams in the playoffs last
mm,
season. Because Steven Adams brings that I don't know what the word is, like seriousness and like
yeah.
veteran
Maturity.
presence that they maturity. That's what they really need. So yeah, Marcus Smart's going to be big for them.
Yeah.
Rising star. I've got my six man of the year, Luke Kennard. Uh, he's not so much a rising star. He's like his fifth or sixth year in the league. Similar to Zach Collins, but yeah, this dude could really put up six man of the year numbers if the Grizzlies make a run.
Mm,
Um, which I'm kind of thinking they can be like a 4 or 5 seed. He can really win six man of the year.
yeah. Yeah. I think we haven't seen the best from him yet.
Mm,
And if they can like look to, because even in the minutes he has gotten, and like it's been inconsistent over the years, like he's shown up. She's not just a spot up shooter as well. Like he can just like put it on the floor a bit and like find his spot. Um, yeah, I reckon you can expect like if they really giving him some minutes, and he's healthy, and obviously, yeah, with Jar out, there's more minutes for him. I reckon he can have like a 15 like 15
Yeah,
off the bench type of thing, kind of like a Duncan Robinson, I guess, but just more aggressive and
yeah,
a bit more of a focal point of that bench.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like Luke Kennard's more like multifaceted on the offensive side. He can do a lot more,
and yeah,
but also similarly play that role.
yeah, yeah, and like when D Rose is doing his thing, and I mean, I hope they're not just signing him just for like, oh,
Yeah,
D
just to
Rose,
take
but
the
like,
piss.
no,
Yeah,
like I don't fucking hate when people don't give him minutes when like I know he wasn't amazing last year, but he also like just got very random spurts of minutes and then
yeah,
don't know. But yeah, I got Xavier Tillman as my rising star. But now that you've said that, because I like Xavier Tillman, I think he brings a great energy.
yeah. He's good.
Now that you said that, I kind of think Luke Kennard um, can have yeah huge year, and then like because the focus will be on Desmond Bain and Marcus Smart, and they're a very ball movement oriented team. I think um, because they don't have Jar for the first 25 games. So
Yeah,
yeah, I got 53 max. I still think they can put up like good wins. I still think they can compete without Jar. Um, but at the least, I'd gonna give them like 47.
yeah. Most I've. This is gonna sound weird. Most I've gone is 46.
Ooh,
The 25. Just because the 25 games that Jar's out,
that's fair. That's fair.
I think they'll lose half of those games. So yeah, I think they'll get under 50 wins, but they'll still make the playoffs. They'll still be like they won't be in the play-in. They'll be like a 5 seed or 6 seed. Um, yeah, I'm just factoring in Jar being out because he's so important to that team.
Yeah,
You saw last season when he was out those 8 games that his presence is definitely missed. Not saying that they can't win without him because I'm pretty sure they had like a good record without him, but I just think at the start of the season when everyone's trying to get used to each other's roles,
yeah,
all that is going to matter. Um, but yeah, not saying that they can't win 50 games, but yeah, just a bit unrealistic on my side.
yeah.
Um, Final one before we wrap it up,
Ooh.
Mavericks. I'm actually really excited for this one. I saw the stupid Bleacher Report duo rankings. Did you see that by any chance?
No, what was it?
Oh my god, they ranked Giannis and Drew at 1.
Oh, really?
Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum weren't in the top 5. They were honorable mentions, and the defending champions duo weren't even in the top 3. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, stupid. Kyrie and Luca were 5th. Don't
Ooh,
know why they didn't make the playoffs. Didn't even make the play in. But I really think they're gonna have a big season. I feel like Luca's finally got the guy that he can count on. I know he had Brunson, but Brunson and Kyrie are 2 completely different levels. Um, the late game situation is going to be a thing they're going to have to figure out.
mm,
But the fact that Luca has a NBA champion, one of the all-time great scorers on his side,
mm.
in his prime still, people forget that he's only like 30 years old. He's still in his prime.
Yeah,
Hasn't really dropped off since he left Cleveland. Yeah, I've got big hopes. Luca's my MVP. I feel like you would have the same.
yeah.
Yeah. Impact player, I've gone Kyrie. Simply, this dude will give you 10 plus wins in a season.
Mm.
Um, I'm not saying they're going to have a crazy season. There's going to be some ups and downs. There's seriously going to be some ups and downs, but yeah, they can still perform. Who's your impact?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I could put Kyrie. I think, like, from like an impact standpoint.
Did you
I
put
love
Dwight
putting
Powell?
no, I love putting guys who are like, um, just do more than what's like statistically. But then again, Kyrie, like, regardless of that, yeah, he's the
Wait,
impact
I'm
player.
waiting to hear yours. I'm waiting to hear yours because I feel like I know who you're going to say.
Grant Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know. And obviously he's the guy at the four spot that I think they've been needing. I think Finney Smith has been
Finney
great.
Smith was great. Yeah.
But I just do think he's a really solid one for them there. If he can keep up his consistent shooting and his defense, his energy, I think he's my impact play. Although it could be like a. I was also thinking Josh Green as well. I love what Josh Green brings.
Yeah. I
He's
love Josh Green.
solidified himself in the lineup. If I mean, this is very far fetched, but if Dante Exum is to get a decent amount of minutes, I think my boy could have a
They
impact
also
player
got
type of.
they also got Matisse Thybulle. That's
Oh, they did. Oh my god, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's who I thought you were gonna pick. That's who I
Oh
thought you were
no,
gonna
no,
pick.
no! Shout out Matisse Thybulle, the fucking
Yeah, I
boy.
really thought because he said it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So I was like, oh, he's picking Thybulle. He's picking Matisse. Our boy Matisse. I don't know where the thing is, but
No,
I
but
got
they've
that. I
done.
got that poster
Oh yeah,
that you
somewhere
made.
here.
I can
Same
find
here.
it.
But I mean, yeah, and they've done a good job off season. Like they re-signed Kyrie. Like they were able to they got Seth Curry as well. They got Matisse. Like they
Yeah,
got Grant Williams. They still kept. I like still having Maxi Kleber. I think he's dope. They got Dante Exum. Like they've actually done a good job of keeping their offense, but you've re-signed guys for your and grab guys for your defense. Like they've actually had a really solid off season. That just
yeah,
because
for
a
sure.
team re-signs a player, it's like, oh, not a great off season, but like still good. I think Mavs had a very underrated off season.
Yeah, for sure. Rising star Josh Green.
Yeah.
I feel like the Australian kind of the FIBA World Cup will definitely help with progression. I think we've kind of seen players that succeed in the World Cup or Eurobasket, for example, like Laurie Markkinen, people that exceed in those competitions where they can get more confidence carries over into the league. I don't know if he'll get a starting spot on the Boomers, but um, yeah, he's definitely my rising star. I feel like it was either him or Jaden Hardy. I feel like the third year is kind of where you take that leap. Um, Obviously the top rookies make this leap in the second year, but I feel like Josh Green's going to get way more minutes. And when he got minutes last season, he would instantly make an impact.
Mm.
Super high percentage 3-point shooter. When he does get his opportunity, yeah, I just really feel like he's going to be really good for them.
Yeah. He is that kind of like how Christian Brown was for Denver last year. Just like a really like an athletic guard, 3-and-D, and like full of energy, like is not
Yeah.
afraid to, you know, go out there and make his presence be known. And like they do need someone like well, they've got it. Man, Mavs are actually, man, I think about it, like I might even bump my wins up. Mavs are looking
Yeah,
great. They are
really good.
looking so good.
Such an underrated offseason. They got the role players that they needed last season.
Yeah, holy shit. I'm gonna bro, I put it at 45 just before, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump that up a bit more. I'm gonna say like 52. What do you reckon? Or do you
I
like
went 48.
8?
I went 48, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won that many games, you know.
Yeah, I
Um,
think fuck they're set, I reckon.
Also, Josh Green, first season, 2.5 points a game. Second season, 5 points a game. Third season, 9 points a game. The dude's gonna
Ooh.
have the jump again. I feel like he's gonna average he can easily average like 13, 14 points. It just depends on how he gets minutes. He averages
Yeah.
40% from three. 40% from three. First season he averaged 16. So the dude's gonna the dude constantly gets better and he does it in an efficient way.
Mm. If
But yeah,
the one thing that like pisses me off about Matisse Thybulle is like the offense. If he was to like actually have a three ball, man, he would obviously be starting, and then you slide Tim Hardaway to your bench, which is
yeah.
like holy shit. Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway off the bench, Josh Green,
Oh my god. Yeah.
incredible bench. If Matisse Thybulle was able to get a bit of
Yeah.
bit of shooting going. Even
Yeah.
so off the bench, him, I think he can. I mean, they are a bit. They're already loaded at the four anyway, but he can still play a small ball four, um, when they want to go to that, and then have like Maxi Kleber at the five, or even Dwight Powell at the five.
Mm.
See, but yeah, man, I'm excited. Actually, I'm gonna look to watch the Mavs a bit more. I
Yeah.
don't love Luca. I find him kind of it's just, people don't like this, but I find him boring. I just think he does the same stuff every time, and it's like,
Yeah, I can agree. I can kind of agree. Not like
yeah,
to the full extent, but it's kind of like he just reminds me of Harden in Houston.
yeah,
Like where the whole offense runs through him and same dribble, dribble, step back or dribble, dribble, drive, fake, then like
yeah,
yelling at the refs for calls, even though he gets fouled a lot. Like I'll be honest, he does get fouled a lot, but
right,
I feel like having Kyrie there makes them one more exciting, two takes the pressure off of Luca. People are saying Luca for MVP. I really don't believe it because you've got Kyrie there that's going to generate 20 points, 23 points a game, anyways. So yeah,
yeah, no,
I
and
think
great season looking from.
definitely. Next week we got the Pacific Division, um,
Oof,
and then that'll be our season previews done. And then usually, I think last time we did like award predictions, so maybe we'll jump into the awards. And yeah, if you guys have any ideas for content, let us know. Instagram, let us know. Facebook, let us know. YouTube comments, let us know. But yeah, thanks
yeah,
for watching, everybody. Really appreciate the support. It's yeah, really love doing this. So yeah,
yeah. Have a good one.
and a
Yeah,
word from our special guest.
I watched the whole game. I seen the whole game. I was at home watching the game, and I said he was gonna before the game even started. When I said he was probably gonna score 70 now. I don't, I don't know what made me say that. And my friends was with me, and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, he might as well go for 80 now. So I mean, I'm a fan of the game, and I see that performance was unbelievable.